Hey everybody, Desert Guardian here, and today I'm going to install a new Hyve Technologies Monarch Trigger in my Gen 5 Glock 19 MOS. So this is my Glock 19 here. As you can see, I've already got the Hyve Technologies mag release in it, their extended mag release. A real nice setup there. And I just picked up this trigger. We'll go ahead and pop it out of the bag. This is the Hyve Technologies aluminum trigger. So I went with black with the blue safety on it. And as you can see, I did a matching blue +2 mag extension for it also. A little bit of a little thin blue line theme there. So let's go ahead and we'll take this apart. So we'll make sure it's clear, of course. Go ahead and take the slide off. Set the slide aside. All right, and here we have it. So a couple differences between the Gen 3 and 4 and 5 is, if you notice, we're missing a pinhole here. So it's just a 2-pin setup. Here's my Gen 4 over here, make sure that's clear. See, the Gen 4 has 1, 2, 3. The Gen 5 does not. Another couple differences about the Gen 5, of course, you've got the ambidextrous slide release here. The springs in here, I don't know if you remember on the Gen 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the single-sided slide release has a little kind of a hair spring, a little curly Q spring around the outside, where this one actually has a self-contained coil spring, as does the takedown lever, has a coil spring in it now. So we'll go ahead and pop the pin out, give it a little nudge with this hand, see if I can do this with just the two hands, and there we go. We'll take out the rear pin, set those aside, and then of course we'll take out the front locking block. Pop that out. And then the whole trigger assembly and this ambidextrous slide release assembly comes right out. Like I said, you can see it's got a self-contained little coil spring on it. And of course it's ambidextrous, so that pops right out. And then you can take out the trigger assembly. So you got your trigger bar, connector, trigger block. Now another big difference is you do not have a hole in this with a coil spring that attaches to the rear of the trigger block. It's actually a real easy setup. Twist, take it out, and see the new trigger doesn't have a hole for a spring, has this front tab that's going to slide right underneath this tab, and there's a spring right in there. So kind of the same motion, you're twisting when you put it back in, but we'll make sure that front tab gets underneath there. And there you have it. There is your trigger assembly ready to go back in. So we'll do everything in reverse order. Drop this back in. Pop into place. Gotta love the Hyve logo on the top of the trigger. All right. Next we'll take our ambidextrous slide release and just drop it right in on top of it. How easy is that? Okay. Next up, front locking block. Drop that guy in. Sorry if my hands were in the way for all of that. And we'll take the trigger pin. And this is probably the easiest part of the Gen 5, is the reassembly. It is very simple. You put a little forward pressure on the trigger here, but the ambidextrous slide release holds everything in place. So we'll tap to center this guy. There we go. Put in the rear pin. I always want to put a little pressure down on this to make sure the holes are lined up. You should never have to force this pin in. It's easy in, easy out. And there you have it. There is the Hyve Technologies Monarch Trigger installed. Let's take a look. The slide back on. Nice and crisp. I like the feel of that a lot. One more time. Yep, so there you have it. The Hyve Technologies Gen 5 Monarch Trigger. So now I've got the black with the thin blue line. We've got the blue matching Hyve Technologies +2. And there she is. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, it really is that easy, but feel free to leave comments below. I run Hyve in a lot of stuff. It's a great company. I'll put some links to the companies down below. And that's it for now. Desert Guardian, out.